Well, absolutely. I think Asia Pacific is looking to adopt mobile broadband on an ever-increasing scale. And there is strong demand from the enterprise segment, simply because based on a survey that we did at the GSMA some time ago, nearly 70% of businesses that were surveyed actually felt that using mobile as a business tool would really enhance certain aspects of the productivity of employees, and that's simply from the point of view that employees are able to actually be productive regardless of where they are. So there's a very strong angle from a mobility perspective. We also find that they are happy to have higher connection speeds no matter where they are. They are happy to have better coverage, again ensuring that employees are able to stay connected back to the office and are able to deliver regardless of where they are and how much they're traveling. Actually, there are two factors here. The first one is clearly from an employee demand perspective. About 96% of those respondents in that survey indicated that they provide some level of access to broadband, mainly fixed. But a further 60% of those actually said, we provide, wireless access as well, which could be, through predominantly Wi-Fi, but also, through mobile broadband solutions as well. And so that is actually driving employee expectation from the point of view where they want to be connected, using some kind of a wireless solution, which enables them to connect back into the office regardless of where they are. The second element that is helping to drive that kind of demand is employer expectations. Now, in Asia, it's fairly common in the cities all across Asia that commuting time is actually a significant factor when you see when you have people working very far away from their homes and you have about an hour or a couple of hours of commute every day. Employers want to see employees make use of that particular dead time. Now, that has a certain level of pros and cons to it. On the one hand, people say, my God, that means you can never switch off. You're always working, which in an Asian context actually is very good from the employer perspective. But I actually look at it in a different way, which is it actually helps the employee to be more productive, because in the morning, I don't know about you, but I like to get a head start, just to make sure that I'm abreast, I know what's going on, there's no surprises waiting for me in the office, just run through my BlackBerry, make sure a couple of mails are sent out, and I arrive at the office slightly calmer or a bit more prepared for the day. The second thing is, on the way back, I can make sure that whatever it is that I needed to do, even if I'm a little bit late, I can still catch my train and finish off whatever's necessary for work and then switch off completely when I'm at home. So I don't have that residual guilt that something is pending and I need to sacrifice that precious half an hour of sleep in the morning in order to get to the office earlier to finish it. So that's an interesting way to also look at it. But at the end of the day, what you're essentially talking about is really enhanced productivity, being able to deliver and being able to be more efficient in terms of your own time management by having access to that kind of speed, that kind of technology, wherever you are. So, if you look at how Asia's doing today, you have obviously the highly industrialized economies, first world economies of Japan and South Korea. If you include Australia and APAC as well, then that's another one. But on the other hand, it's also balanced by the more developing economies that we see in Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and of course the two giants, right, India and China. To me, I think that China and India are going to be the powerhouses that will drive mobile broadband growth in Asia Pac. You're already seeing over 60 HSPA networks that have been deployed across Asia. There's about 77 million HSPA users in Asia already, and the number is growing at a phenomenal rate of, I think, 3.5 million users per month as of the end of 2009. So we're going to see a lot more deployment in terms of mobile broadband, and predominantly that's because In Asia, you realize that there is a fundamental lack of infrastructure that is going to be able to connect up communities, in rural as well as in urban areas. When there is a lack of copper in the ground, mobile becomes really Hobson's choice in order to get that kind of connectivity to the end user, in order to improve, their productivity, their efficiency. And when China has announced that both China Mobile and China Telecom announced that they're going towards LTE. They intend to connect up populations of hundreds of millions of people through their mobile broadband networks. China Unicom already has 5 million HSPA customers today. The number is growing every day. India's spectrum auctions are coming up. It's April 9th for their 2.1 gigahertz and 2.3 gigahertz spectrum. And we're going to see, India jumping onto that mobile broadband bandwagon very, very quickly. And that is going to help to fuel that enormous growth that we're going to see for both China and India. And that growth is going to, have that multiplier effect on the neighboring economies as well, simply because of the way the businesses have been intertwined.